Hi everybody, welcome back to God's Miracle Food Channel. Today I want to share with you how to make natural, organic, homemade cough syrup. Now, the original recipe I use is just 2 ingredients. You're going to need honey. This is local honey, organic honey, and you're going to need an onion. Okay. If you would like to add something more to your homemade cough syrup, I like ginger, maybe some garlic. You know, you can get a little bit creative. All right. So today, we're going to start, and what we need is I just use an empty mason jar. Now, depending on how big your family is, I just want you to know that this is a lot, and people say, well, how long does this last? Well, first of all, one woman, stated it lasted like 7 years if you keep it in the fridge. Honey lasts, I think, indefinitely, right? But I've had mine for years in the refrigerator. But like with anything else, you just always want to test it. So we're going to chop the onion, and then we're going to layer onion, honey, onion, honey, onion, honey, onion, honey, onion, honey. And if you want to add a little ginger for flavor, you can. If you want to make it really potent, you can add in garlic. Okay, so I'm going to just start by cutting my onion. I have a pretty big onion here. My husband grows these for our restaurant, Valenti and Company in San Anselmo. Valenti. My husband's from he's from Milan, and he's a chef. So he bikes to work, but he grows. We have a beautiful garden, and he's been my inspiration over the years. Yes, I'm a doctor, but when I started having some health challenges, I had to find solutions, and I found it through food. So now, big part of my practice after 20-some years, because I have a beautiful garden that he has made and has all these herbs and food, I teach what has helped me. I don't give medical advice. It's not allowed, but I can share my opinion and inspire you to have a conversation if you want to start adding some of these miracle foods. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop the onion. One thing I noticed, the older the onion, your eyes will start watering. Our onions, my husband grew about 300 pounds of onions for the restaurant. But we have them stored. So I can't remember when we took these out of the ground. I guess, right before summer, and dried them out. But I want to point out, your eyes start watering. Well, onion's really good for the respiratory because it's forcing a parasympathetic reaction, just to keep that in mind. Also, if you have a cough that is really extreme, or just a cough that's irritating, you may want to skip your evening meal and do more of a liquid, soups and things like that, because you don't want the food. You don't want to aspirate anything. Okay. And if the kids have a cough, you can put fresh onion. You can make a poultice, You can always get... just to throw this in, if your kid's coughing, you can always get a clean piece of cloth and put the onion on it and put it on the chest area, and put some wrap around it, saran wrap, because it's going to go into the skin. You can put onion directly on the skin, but you always want to test it and make sure that no one's allergic. And then also, if the kids have ear infection or a human's ear infection, you just put an onion to your ear for an hour or so, or an hour. Really helps. Just a side note. I like to chop my onions and get them as, small pieces as I can. But in a few hours after we make the layer of onion, honey, or honey, onion, honey, onion, honey, onion, you're going to see that it turns into a syrup. Okay. Because honey's sticky, but it'll become more syrupy. I'm also going to add a little ginger. So I'm just going to take a few minutes and cut myself a little bit of ginger. So this is just the amount of ginger I'm going to add. I'm going to dice it up and just add a few pieces in each layer. So you can see I divided my onions. I'm going to do about 3 layers in the jar. I'm just going to add 2 pieces of chopped up ginger to each layer. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to start doing our layering. Now the mason jar is clean. Okay? And I said I'm using my natural honey from, this is what, for Fairfax, California. What's his name? No Bull Beekeeping. Sorry, Kelseyville, California. Kelseyville Wildflower, 100% pure raw honey. Just a little shout out. He's a nice man over at the market. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer with my ginger. I'm just going to throw it in the bottom. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to take a tablespoon of this beautiful honey and drop it in. So cool, isn't it? Okay. This can get really sticky, really yucky or not, but it's okay. I'm going to put a little bit more honey in. There's no, I mean, you just want to layer it, you know. And at the end of the day, it's all going to turn out to come together as a syrup. Then you put another layer of onion with my ginger. And like I say, you can add garlic. Or you can, you know, get creative. See what other things you like to add. Oh, well. Honey is a natural antibiotic. So people say, well, how much, you know, do I take? Well, you know, children, infants, you can always just start out with a drop, right? Put the syrup under the tongue. It goes in immediately to the system. Or adults, take a tablespoon. See how you're doing. Okay, now we're going to do another layer of onion. Okay. And I'm going to finish up this jar of honey. Just drop it in. I'm just a kid at heart. I love doing this. And I just can't tell you how much I love food and what appreciation I have. My husband grows things from seed. Everything's organic. I mean, what a beautiful life. I'm thankful every day. Okay, and now I'm going to put the last of the onion in. A little bit on the floor. It's okay. And then I'm going to put my last, how much time do I have left? Last layer of onion. I like to do the 10-minute videos just to get to the point. Okay, so let's just review because this is the end. So, this is how you have it. Okay, I'm going to wipe it down. I like to let it sit there. So good. Now I want it to sit there. Put the lid on. If I can find the lid. I'm all sticky. Hang on 1 second. Okay. I have 1 minute left. So I'm going to wipe it down because I got extremely messy. Okay. And then after this is all clean, you're going to put on the top of your jar. Okay. And you're going to label it and date it. Very important. Honey, onion, and then the date. Okay, so that goes on the jar. Now, within a few hours or so, you're going to, a few hours or so, you're going to see that it turns, because honey's sticky, it's going to turn into a syrup. Okay? And then after a while, you can turn it upside down for a few minutes, but it's all going to come together. Then you just stick it in the fridge and it can last for a very long time. children start out with a few drops. Thank you so much. Share this information.